Hi everyone, this is Ginger with Gingerberry Creek, and today's tutorial is going to be about making a pattern template, a little bit stronger pattern template. So what you'll need is your pattern. Here I'm showing you one of my Gingerberry Creek patterns. In fact, with the Gingerberry Creek pattern, you get the cover page, which has the picture and the information. On the back side of the cover page, we'll have your supply list and my pattern terms of use. If you open it up, you'll get your general instructions, just some general information for you. You'll also get the actual instructions on how to complete your item. There may be several pages to that. Then you'll get your actual pattern piece pages, which, there may be 1 page, 2 pages, there may be several. And it's all nice and neat into a Ziploc reclosable bag. Nice and sturdy. Great place to store your cut pattern pieces. And if you're going to make a stronger template, great place to keep it all together in one place and store it aside. So today I'm going to make a template for these two pieces, and there's 3 materials that you can use when making a template. The first one would be a manila file folder, just like you get at the office supply or one of the big box stores. If you have some on hand and you're cleaning out your filing cabinet and you've written on it or whatever, there's stuff on it, but you've got empty space, it's a great way to reuse and recycle this material. So that is the probably easiest and cheapest way to go, because most everybody has these, from their filing cabinet. The second option is a piece of cardstock, which is usually used in like scrapbooking and that type of craft. It comes in different thicknesses, so if you want something a little sturdier, I would go up in the pound size of the paper to give it more stability. But this is kind of, the next to the manila folder. This would be the next cheapest and easiest to come by, actually. So that's the second option. And then the third option, which is the best option, would be to buy this what they call clear template plastic. And it's usually, I found this in a quilting shop. Some of the big box stores may carry it, or a craft store may carry it. And what's nice about it is it's this nice sturdy plastic. It does come with, some pieces come with a grid on them, and then some pieces come as a, just a blank clear plastic. So this is a little more pricey, but this will last you a lot longer than the other two, because the other two will end eventually, just like a paper pattern is very kind of flimsy. Depending on the thickness of your cardstock, after a while, the edges will start to get kind of roll or frayed at the edges on both of these as you trace over and over and over. So those are the 3 options for your marking a template. You'll also need a like Sharpie. That's the best thing to use on any of these. I'll show you here what the plastic looks like when I've done a template out of it. I've done like a little eye patch and, a nose, a shoe, there's like a bird foot and a body. So, and this is great if you're, if you plan on wanting to keep something and do it over and over and over again for a craft show, or if you're selling online, I would recommend making a plastic template, because this will last the longest and not have like frayed edges or rolled edges. And it's much better than using, you know, your paper one over and over, because eventually you'll have to cut out another one of these, and these pieces will fit in your little plastic reclosable bag. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to use the cardstock and show you how you go about this. So here's my two pieces that I want to transfer onto the little bit thicker cardstock. So all I'm going to do is, and you can get quite, if you put them close together, you could get quite a few pieces out of one piece of cardstock. So all you need to do is lay your pattern piece down, and then you're going to need to trace around this. So here we go. I try to hold it down the best I can. If by chance you go off astray, don't worry, you can always come back and straighten it up. But here we go. Just go around it with your Sharpie. And you would do the same thing on the plastic or the manila folder. So there's my one piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and set this one down here to do next to it. Try to get as many pieces on here as I can. Just trace this outline here with my Sharpie. And then pull away the piece. Now, as you can see, so this has no information on it, but what you want to do is, it would be a good idea to transfer any of the information that you have. Here's like the slit line, here's the slit line for the shoe. It says shoes on it. This is the sculpting heel line. So that I don't have to keep pulling out any of these pieces, I'm going to go ahead and mark my my line on my cardstock here. Now what I like to do is, if it's already marked on here on your pattern, then, and you're using a Sharpie, if you hold the Sharpie long enough down here on your paper and go back and forth, it will mark kind of through it on, as you can see, it'll make small marks there, and then I can go ahead from there and make the straight lines here. And then what I like to do, just so that my my piece is nice and straight, I'll just kind of put my ruler on there and make a straight line. So now I know where my slit needs to go for turning this, and I'm actually going to write slit on here because that's what the pattern says. I'm also going to transfer the information that's the head pattern piece, the pattern number, and how many I need to trace for this. So this is the head, and it's a pattern piece, and it comes from pattern number 320, and I'm going to put that I need to trace one of these onto double layer fabric. So I've transferred the important information here so that when I go to make this, then it's all right there. I don't have to get out my other piece. So same with this one. I'm going to go ahead and do my dashed line across here. That's my sculpting line. And I'm going to mark my slit. Again, you can do it this way. Just kind of run back and forth till it goes through the paper a little bit, just like that. I mark it. I get my straight edge, and I mark it that way. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as you get it on there. So I'm going to put slit, and then I'm going to put shoe, because this is a shoe, pattern piece number 320, and then I'm going to put trace 2 on double layer fabric. So now my information is all on the template. So now what I need to do is get my paper cutting scissors, or my scissors also will cut that plastic. So I'm just going to kind of roughly cut them out first, so I'm not having to deal with a bunch of bulk. And set that aside for the next time I need to use it, and then cut kind of between here, and then I'm just going to cut these out. Now when I do paper or the plastic, I cut, and instead of moving the scissors, I actually move the cardstock. So I will do and shift the cardstock. That's the easiest, that's the best way to get a nice smooth edge, is to actually rotate your cardstock or your plastic or the folder when you're cutting it out, instead of trying to, you know, chase around the line. So I'm just going to finish cutting this out. And there's my finished template. Now you can see between this one, and let me get my other piece here, and here's the paper, a little flimsy, and here this one's a little bit thicker. This will last a little bit longer. If I put it on plastic, it would last kind of indefinitely. And then here's my other one. Just gonna cut this out real quick. Like I said, these are great if you're going to be doing a lot of, you know, these dolls, or actually it works for any kind of sewing where you have to trace onto your fabric. This is a lot better than, because after a while your your paper will start to break down, and this way you've got a nice sturdy one to then trace onto your fabric. So, and then what's also nice is now that you've got them all done, and I've got the pattern here, that all you have to do is store your pieces, all your pieces, back into the Ziploc, and they're ready for the next time. So that is how you do a pattern template, or making a pattern template. I hope that that's been helpful today and that you've enjoyed it. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share if you would like with others, and be sure to check back. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.